Have you ever found yourself scrolling through endless feeds, witnessing the sheer opulence of the ultra-rich, and thought, what do they even spend their money on? It's a question that often sparks a mix of awe, amusement, and sometimes a little head-scratching disbelief. While most of us budget for groceries, bills, and maybe a modest vacation, a select few operate on an entirely different financial plane, one where money seems to bend to their every whim. We're talking about individuals who can turn a casual thought into a multi-million-dollar reality, where the line between luxury and outright absurdity often blurs beyond recognition. This isn't just about lavish homes or private jets, though those certainly make the list. Instead, consider the truly bizarre, the utterly unexpected, and the downright perplexing purchases that only an overflowing bank account could make possible. We're about to embark on a fascinating journey into the peculiar world of extreme wealth, shedding light on the things money can buy when there are seemingly no limits. Imagine a reality where your wildest impulses, no matter how outlandish, can be instantly gratified. What if you could commission a private submarine for underwater adventures or purchase a ghost town just for the novelty of owning one? The mind reels at the possibilities, and for some rich Americans, these aren't just flights of fancy but actual transactions. Their spending habits aren't always about accumulating more traditional assets. Sometimes it's about acquiring experiences, eccentric collections, or even entire historical sites simply because they can. This isn't a judgment, it's an exploration of human nature when freed from financial constraints, revealing a side of extravagance that goes far beyond the typical flashy cars and designer clothes. It's a compelling look at how desires evolve when conventional boundaries cease to exist, leading to acquisitions that challenge our very understanding of value and necessity. This is where curiosity truly takes hold, as we wonder what drives such extraordinary and often bizarre financial decisions. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on some of the most unbelievable examples of this phenomenon. Join us as we count down the 29 weirdest things rich Americans have actually spent their money on. Prepare to be amazed, amused, and perhaps a little bewildered, because you're about to discover purchases that redefine what it means to live in the lap of luxury. From the truly whimsical to the surprisingly practical in the most impractical ways, each item on our list tells a unique story about wealth, ambition, and the sheer audacity of human desire. So settle in, because what you're about to see might just convince you that when it comes to spending for some, the sky isn't just the limit, it's merely the beginning of an even wilder frontier. This is a deep dive into the fascinating, often baffling, world where money meets imagination in the most unexpected ways, offering a glimpse into the lavish lives that continue to intrigue and astound us. First on our list, we plunge headfirst into the stratosphere with a truly astronomical purchase, a $1.5 million ticket to space on Virgin Galactic. For most of us, spending that kind of money on a house, a lifetime of travel, or even a small island might seem like the ultimate financial flex. But for one anonymous billionaire, it was merely the price of admission for a suborbital joyride, a fleeting glimpse of Earth from beyond its atmosphere. Think about that for a moment. $1.5 million for an experience that lasts mere minutes, a few precious moments suspended in the blackness of space, seeing the curvature of our planet with your own eyes. It's an investment not in a tangible asset, but in an unparalleled, exclusive, and undeniably exhilarating experience. The allure of space travel, once reserved for highly trained astronauts, has now become a luxury commodity, a playground for the ultra-wealthy. Virgin Galactic promises a journey unlike any other, a rocket-powered ascent, a few minutes of weightlessness allowing passengers to unbuckle and float around the cabin, and then a gentle glide back to Earth. It's a thrill ride on a cosmic scale, a bragging right that transcends private jets and superyachts. This kind of expenditure isn't about practical utility or even long-term investment. It's about reaching the pinnacle of human experience, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and quite literally rubbing shoulders with the stars. The sheer cost highlights a profound difference in perspective. For individuals accustomed to every earthly comfort, the ultimate luxury becomes the unique, the inaccessible, the truly out of this world. It makes one wonder, if you've already bought every conceivable luxury on earth, what's left but to conquer the heavens themselves? This kind of purchase redefines what it means to be wealthy, moving beyond mere accumulation to the acquisition of extraordinary and indeed cosmic adventures. If rocketing into space seems like the ultimate expression of extravagant leisure, then our next item on the list veers sharply in the opposite direction, yet remains equally mind-boggling in its ambition and cost. We're talking about a private, full-scale replica of the Titanic. Yes, you heard that right. Not a model, not a museum exhibit, but an actual, seaworthy ship designed to be an exact copy of the famously doomed ocean liner. This audacious project, estimated to cost hundreds of millions of dollars, is the brainchild of an Australian billionaire named Clive Palmer. Imagine the sheer audacity required to embark on such an endeavor, to pour fortunes into recreating a vessel synonymous with one of history's most tragic maritime disasters. The plan for this ship, dubbed Titanic II, isn't just about constructing a massive vessel, it's about meticulous historical accuracy. Think about every detail, from the grand staircase and the opulent dining saloons to the smaller cabins, and even the original layout of the decks, all faithfully reproduced. The vision extends to recreating the experience of early 20th century luxury travel, albeit with modern navigation and safety features, which one would certainly hope for given the original's fate. The intended purpose for this floating palace remains somewhat fluid, oscillating between functioning as a luxury cruise ship, ferrying wealthy passengers across the Atlantic on routes similar to its predecessor, or perhaps even serving as a stationary, high-end hotel attraction. The scale of this undertaking is simply staggering, requiring not just immense financial capital, but also an army of naval architects, engineers, and artisans dedicated to resurrecting a ghost from the past. The logistical challenges alone are immense, sourcing materials that match the original, adhering to modern safety regulations while maintaining historical authenticity, and then actually building a ship of that size takes years of dedicated effort and coordination. Beyond the practicalities, there's an undeniable morbid fascination with such a project. It raises questions about taste, legacy, and the very human desire to defy fate or perhaps to tempt it. Why would someone choose to spend such an exorbitant sum on replicating a vessel known primarily for its catastrophic maiden voyage? Is it a tribute, a historical folly, or simply another example of extreme wealth enabling the most peculiar and public of passions? Regardless of the motivation, the idea of Titanic II, sailing the seas once more, stands as a testament to the boundless and often baffling spending habits of the ultra-rich. It's a project that makes exploring space seem almost conventional by comparison, reminding us that for some, the ultimate luxury isn't just about going somewhere new, but about resurrecting a piece of history, no matter how tragic. From colossal ships to cosmic voyages, our list continues its descent into the truly bizarre with something that combines pop culture fandom with eye-watering opulence: a $65,000 solid gold Darth Vader helmet. Yes, you heard that correctly. Not a prop replica, not a limited edition collectible, but a genuine, handcrafted helmet made entirely of solid 18-karat gold, commissioned by a fan with seemingly limitless funds and an equally limitless devotion to the dark side. This isn't something you wear to a costume party or even display in a typical glass case. This is more akin to a modern art sculpture, a heavy, gleaming testament to one person's passion and purchasing power. This extraordinary piece was created by a renowned luxury jeweler, transforming the iconic villain's headpiece into an object of pure, unadulterated metallic splendor. Imagine the craftsmanship involved, meticulously molding and casting pounds of precious gold, then polishing it to a mirror sheen, perfectly capturing every sinister curve and detail of Darth Vader's menacing visage. The sheer weight of such an object would be substantial, making it utterly impractical for anything other than display. It represents the ultimate acquisition for a Star Wars enthusiast who has long since exhausted every other merchandise option, from vintage action figures to life-sized character statues. This isn't about functionality, it's about owning a unique, tangible piece of pop culture history elevated to an unprecedented level of material value. The mindset of someone who spends $65,000 on a completely non-functional, display-only item like this is truly fascinating. For most people, that amount could buy a brand new luxury car, a sizable down payment on a modest home, or fund years of elaborate vacations. But for the individual who acquired this gilded helmet, its value lies not in utility or conventional investment, but in its unparalleled uniqueness, its undeniable rarity, and the sheer audacity of its existence. It's an expression of extreme personal taste, a statement piece that screams, "I can afford anything, even my wildest fan fantasies." This purchase goes beyond collecting. It ventures into the realm of commissioning bespoke, one-of-a-kind art pieces that happen to be shaped like beloved fictional characters. It begs the question, when you have everything, what do you buy for the person who truly has nothing to prove, except their ability to acquire the most astonishing and unusual objects imaginable? From interstellar travel and nautical resurrections to solid gold pop culture artifacts, we've seen how far the ultra-rich will go to satisfy their desires. But what about their furry best friends? Our next entry takes luxury to an entirely new level, demonstrating that when you have unimaginable wealth, even your canine companion can live a life more opulent than most humans. Prepare yourself for the sheer absurdity of a custom-built $2 million doghouse. Yes, you heard that right, a $2 million doghouse. This isn't just a fancy kennel. It's a veritable canine palace, a sprawling estate designed with every conceivable comfort and extravagance for its furry resident. Imagine a structure that dwarfs many human homes, built with architectural precision and featuring amenities that would make even the most discerning homeowner envious. This isn't just about a roof and four walls. We're talking about a multi-room dwelling, meticulously designed for canine comfort and entertainment. Picture dedicated temperature control, with state-of-the-art air conditioning to keep Fido cool in the summer and radiant floor heating to ensure he's toasty in the winter. The interiors are often lavishly appointed, featuring custom-designed miniature furniture, plush bedding, and perhaps even dog-themed artwork adorning the walls. And in a touch that truly elevates this abode to the realm of the ridiculous, some of these canine mansions have been reported to include actual chandeliers, casting a soft, opulent glow over the pampered pooch's domain. But the extravagance doesn't stop at the ground floor. Some of these doghouses boast multiple levels, with a second-story lounge area where the canine occupant can relax and survey their dominion from above. Think about a dedicated space for playtime, perhaps with a miniature agility course or elaborate toys on rotation. The truly over-the-top versions even incorporate specialized services, such as a dedicated pedicure spa, where canine residents can have their nails trimmed and their paws massaged, ensuring they are always ready for their next leisurely stroll around the sprawling grounds. This isn't just about providing shelter, it's about curating an entire lifestyle for a pet, one that reflects the owner's seemingly endless financial capabilities and arguably their equally endless capacity for indulgence. This kind of expenditure forces us to question the line between genuinely pampering a beloved pet and sheer ostentation. Is it a testament to unconditional love, or a display of wealth so profound that even pet care becomes a competitive sport of extravagance? While there's no doubt most pet owners adore their animals, the idea of spending millions on a structure for a dog, no matter how cherished, strikes many as an almost unbelievable allocation of resources. It highlights a fascinating aspect of extreme wealth. When basic needs and even traditional luxuries are easily met, the pursuit of the unique and the outrageously extravagant often extends to every facet of life, including the care and comfort of their animal companions. This $2 million doghouse stands as a monument to unchecked financial power, demonstrating that for some, no expense is too great when it comes to ensuring their four-legged family members live a life of unparalleled luxury. From $2 million dog houses to our next extravagant purchase, the ultra-rich consistently find ways to astound us with their spending. This time, we're shifting our gaze from opulent canine dwellings to something far grander and arguably even more peculiar: the acquisition of an entire ghost town for personal amusement. Imagine having so much disposable income that instead of buying a retreat in the Hamptons or a ski chalet in Aspen, you decide to purchase an abandoned mining town, complete with crumbling buildings, dusty saloons, and a history rich with legends. This isn't just about owning a piece of land, it's about acquiring a slice of American history, a private playground to explore, restore, and perhaps even live out your wildest Old West fantasies. A prime example of this phenomenon is the story of Cerro Gordo, a historic mining town nestled high in the Inyo Mountains of California. For decades, this remote outpost, once a bustling silver and lead producer, lay virtually untouched, slowly succumbing to the ravages of time and the elements. Its weathered buildings, from the general store to the saloon, stood as silent sentinels to a bygone era. But for Brent Underwood, a Los Angeles-based entrepreneur and millionaire, Cerro Gordo wasn't just a collection of dilapidated structures. It was an irresistible opportunity to own a unique piece of Americana. In 2018, Underwood, along with a group of friends, collectively purchased the entire town for approximately $1.4 million. This wasn't a commercial development venture or a plan to turn it into a tourist trap, but rather a personal passion project, a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week commitment to preserving and revitalizing a ghost town. The allure of owning a ghost town like Cerro Gordo lies in its sheer exclusivity and the profound sense of stepping back in time. For someone who can afford such a luxury, it offers an escape from the relentless pace of modern life, a chance to disconnect and immerse oneself in a world where the only sounds are the wind whistling through empty buildings and the echoes of a distant past. Underwood's vision for Cerro Gordo isn't about profit, but about meticulously restoring the existing structures, uncovering forgotten artifacts, and sharing the town's rich history with a select few through occasional, carefully curated visits. He has invested countless hours and significant additional funds into stabilizing buildings, repairing infrastructure, and even dealing with the occasional ghostly encounter, as the town is rumored to be haunted. It's a hands-on endeavor, a labor of love that goes far beyond simply writing a check. The idea of a ghost town as a personal hobby highlights a fascinating aspect of extreme wealth. When conventional forms of entertainment and luxury become mundane, the truly unique and historically significant take on an irresistible appeal. This isn't about showing off to peers with flashy cars or designer clothes. It's about indulging a deep-seated curiosity, a desire to connect with something authentic and untouched by the 21st century. Owning a ghost town offers a level of privacy and control that few other assets can provide. You are not just a landlord, you are the custodian of history, the solitary resident of a forgotten world, free to explore its secrets and shape its future according to your own whims. It's an acquisition that speaks to a profound longing for escapism, a desire to create a personal sanctuary that transcends the ordinary, even if that sanctuary is populated only by the ghosts of prospectors past. Having explored the eccentricities of land and air, our journey into the peculiar expenditures of the ultra-rich now takes a deep dive, quite literally, into the ocean's abyss. Forget about yachts, which are practically commonplace among the super-wealthy. Our next item on the list is a personal luxury submarine, capable of plunging to extreme depths for private undersea exploration. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar marvel of engineering, a vessel built not for scientific research or military reconnaissance, but for the sheer pleasure of witnessing the deep-sea wonders from the comfort of a private viewport miles below the surface. This isn't just a toy, it is an ultimate status symbol for those who have conquered every other domain and now seek to explore the last true frontier on Earth. The cost for such an aquatic marvel can easily run into the tens of millions of dollars, with some bespoke models pushing past the $50 million mark. These aren't clunky, utilitarian submersibles. They are meticulously crafted, opulent capsules designed for comfort, panoramic views, and absolute safety. Imagine plush leather seating, state-of-the-art navigation systems, and climate control, all encased within a robust hull engineered to withstand immense pressure. The most advanced models often feature transparent acrylic spheres that offer nearly 360-degree views of the mesmerizing underwater world, allowing occupants to gaze upon vibrant coral reefs, mysterious shipwrecks, or even elusive deep-sea creatures in their natural habitat. For the owner, it's an unparalleled opportunity to experience marine life in a profoundly intimate way, far removed from the crowded confines of a traditional tourist submarine or the limitations of scuba gear. The allure of a personal submarine lies in its exclusivity and the profound sense of adventure it offers. While many can charter a yacht, very few can command their own underwater vessel, venturing into unexplored territories whenever the mood strikes. It's an investment in unparalleled discovery, transforming the owner into a modern-day Jacques Cousteau, albeit one with significantly more comfort and a much larger budget. Think about the bragging rights, not just owning a private jet, but a private sub that can take you to depths where sunlight never penetrates, opening up a world known only to a handful of scientists. This acquisition speaks to a desire for unique experiences that transcend ordinary luxury, a craving for the truly extraordinary. However, owning and operating such a vessel also comes with unique risks and responsibilities. The deep ocean is an unforgiving environment, and operating a submersible requires highly specialized training, a dedicated crew, and meticulous maintenance protocols. The slightest malfunction could have catastrophic consequences, making the purchase not just a financial one, but a commitment to an entire ecosystem of support and safety measures. Despite these challenges, the appeal of venturing into the silent, dark, and utterly alien world beneath the waves proves irresistible to some. It represents the pinnacle of exploration, a personal quest for knowledge and spectacle that few will ever experience. For the ultra-rich, it's not just about what they can buy. It's about what far-flung, incredible experiences their money can unlock, proving that for those with truly limitless resources, the ocean's floor is as accessible as the sky's highest reaches. From venturing into the deep sea in a private submarine, we now ascend to a different realm of luxury, one that forces us to question the very definition of opulence and practicality. Prepare yourself for an item that is not merely expensive but profoundly, comically absurd. A $10,000 toilet paper roll covered in 22-karat gold. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're not talking about a golden dispenser or a roll with a subtle golden sheen. This is an actual, functional, albeit ridiculously lavish, toilet paper roll where every single sheet is embedded with 22-karat gold flakes. This audacious creation comes from an Australian company aptly named the Toilet Paper Man, demonstrating that luxury has truly found its way into every conceivable corner of human existence. This truly bizarre item is not just a novelty, It's a statement piece designed for an exclusive clientele who have seemingly exhausted every other avenue of conspicuous consumption. Imagine the conversation starter, "Oh, you know, just wiping with pure gold today." The manufacturers themselves describe it as a product that will make you feel like $1 million, which is perhaps an understatement given its price tag. The gold flakes are said to be meticulously incorporated into the 3-ply paper, ensuring that each use is a shimmering, albeit fleeting, experience. It comes delivered with a bottle of champagne because, of course, what else would accompany such an over-the-top purchase? The entire package is presented as a commemorative item, suggesting that its primary purpose is not necessarily for its intended use, but as a conversation piece, a collector's item, or perhaps a truly outlandish gift for the person who literally has everything. The practical absurdity of using something so valuable and potentially messy for its intended purpose is where this item truly shines in its ridiculousness. $10,000 for a single roll of toilet paper amounts to an astronomical cost per wipe. The idea of flushing 22-carat gold down the drain is a concept so extravagant it almost defies comprehension. It's a product that perfectly encapsulates the lengths to which some wealthy individuals will go to distinguish themselves, to acquire something so unequivocally unique that it transcends traditional notions of luxury and enters the realm of performance art. It's not about function, it's about the sheer, unadulterated spectacle of it. This gold-infused toilet paper raises fascinating questions about value, excess, and the human desire for ultimate luxury. Is it a testament to brilliant marketing, tapping into a market segment where price is no object and novelty is king? Or is it a stark reminder of the widening chasm between the ultra-rich and the rest of society, where basic necessities are transformed into unimaginable luxuries? Regardless of one's perspective, this golden toilet paper roll stands as a shining example of how wealth, when unconstrained, can lead to the creation of products that are as bewildering as they are expensive, proving that for some, even the most mundane daily routines can be elevated to an act of extreme extravagance. From wiping with 22-carat gold to our next incredibly speculative, and perhaps even more outlandish, investment, the ultra-rich continue to redefine what it means to put your money where your wildest dreams are. We're now venturing into the realm of science fiction turned potential reality. A private, membership-only asteroid mining company. Imagine pooling resources with a select group of billionaires to invest in a startup that claims it will one day extract precious metals from asteroids hurtling through space. This isn't a government-funded space agency or a publicly traded corporation. This is a venture fueled by the audacious ambition and deep pockets of individuals who believe that the next gold rush won't be on Earth, but millions of miles away in the asteroid belt. The concept itself is breathtakingly ambitious, straight out of a futuristic novel. Asteroids are believed to contain vast quantities of valuable resources, including platinum, nickel, iron, and rare earth elements, far exceeding the reserves found on our planet. A single asteroid, potentially no larger than a city block, could hold trillions of dollars worth of these materials. The promise, then, is staggering. If successful, asteroid mining could fundamentally reshape global economies, making its early investors unimaginably wealthy. However, the operational challenges are equally staggering, involving interstellar travel, robotic extraction in zero gravity, and the safe return of materials to Earth. This is a venture that requires not just billions of dollars in capital, but also a level of technological innovation that currently exists largely in theory. The allure for wealthy investors is multifaceted. Firstly, there's the sheer novelty and bragging rights. To say you're an early investor in an asteroid mining operation elevates you to a different echelon of futurists and risk-takers. Secondly, there's the unprecedented potential for return on investment. If even a fraction of the promised resources are successfully extracted, the financial rewards could be astronomical, dwarfing any earthly enterprise. But perhaps most importantly, for individuals who have already amassed fortunes through traditional industries, asteroid mining represents the ultimate frontier investment, a chance to be part of something truly groundbreaking and potentially civilization-altering. It's not just about making money, it's about shaping the future, about being at the forefront of humanity's expansion into the cosmos. However, the reality of these ventures is fraught with enormous financial gambles. Many of these companies exist primarily as promising concepts rather than operational entities. They spend vast sums on research and development, building prototypes and attracting top scientific talent, often with little to show in terms of tangible results. The timelines for profitability are measured in decades, not years, and the success rate is incredibly low. Investors are essentially betting on radical technological breakthroughs, sustained political will, and market stability in an entirely new economic sector. It's a high-stakes game where the vast majority of capital is spent on proving feasibility, with no guarantee of ever seeing a return. For the ultra-rich, however, this kind of audacious risk is part of the appeal. They have the financial cushion to absorb massive losses, and the potential for a monumental payoff outweighs the considerable odds. It's a testament to the belief that for those with enough capital, no dream, no matter how far-fetched, is truly out of reach, especially when it involves staking a claim on the mineral wealth of the universe. From betting on the distant riches of asteroid mining, our exploration of the truly bizarre expenditures of the ultra-rich brings us back to Earth, specifically to the ultimate backyard accessory that redefines what a swimming pool can be. Imagine turning your private aquatic oasis into your very own SeaWorld, complete with a life-sized animatronic blue whale that can swim, dive, and even spout water, all within the confines of your property. This isn't just a giant pool toy. It's a monumental engineering feat, a multi-million-dollar commission designed to bring the majesty of the ocean's largest creature to your personal aquatic playground. The sheer ambition of such a project is staggering. We're not talking about a small, static sculpture, but a massive, incredibly detailed replica of a blue whale, often measuring 80 feet or more in length, designed to move with lifelike grace through the water. The construction involves a complex internal skeleton, waterproof motors, hydraulic systems, and sophisticated computer programming to mimic the undulating movements of a real whale. Artists meticulously sculpt the exterior, painstakingly recreate the texture of its skin, and even paint realistic markings, ensuring that every detail, from the enormous flukes to the filter-feeding baleen plates, is anatomically accurate. The goal is to create an illusion so compelling that you almost forget it's a machine and not a living leviathan gliding through your backyard. The cost associated with commissioning such a bespoke marvel easily stretches into the multi-millions of dollars, making it one of the most expensive and elaborate private installations imaginable. This price tag reflects not only the size and complexity of the animatronic itself, but also the extensive modifications often required for the pool it will inhabit. The pool might need to be significantly enlarged, deepened, and reinforced to accommodate the whale's movements and weight. Specialized filtration systems are necessary to keep the water pristine despite the mechanical presence, and elaborate underwater lighting systems are often installed to enhance the spectacle, making the whale appear even more majestic during evening swims or private events. It truly transforms a simple swimming pool into an immersive, theatrical experience, a personal oceanarium for the owner and their privileged guests. The desire to own a personal SeaWorld attraction speaks volumes about the spending habits of those with limitless means. It transcends mere luxury. It's about acquiring the unique, the fantastical, and the utterly unforgettable. For these individuals, a standard Olympic-sized pool is no longer enough. They crave an experience that rivals public aquariums or theme parks, but with the added exclusivity of their own domain. This kind of purchase is driven by a powerful combination of boundless imagination and financial capacity, allowing them to transform even the most extravagant fantasies into tangible realities. It's a testament to the fact that when you have everything, the pursuit of the extraordinary often leads to creations that are as mind-boggling as they are impressive, turning a simple swim into an encounter with a mechanical marvel of the deep. From animatronic whales swimming in backyard pools, we transition from the fantastical to the truly wild, and in some cases, the ethically questionable. Our next entry on this list of bizarre billionaire spending takes us into the controversial world of private menageries, the collection of rare, exotic, and often dangerous animals as personal pets. Imagine having so much wealth that a doghouse costing millions or a personal submarine just won't cut it. Instead, you decide to populate your sprawling estate with tigers, lions, monkeys, or even endangered species, transforming your backyard into a personal safari park. This isn't just about owning a rare breed of dog. It's about acquiring creatures that belong in the wild, or at the very least, in highly regulated and accredited zoos. The allure of owning such potent and majestic creatures is undeniable for some. For the ultra-rich, it's the ultimate status symbol, a demonstration of power and control over nature itself. The sheer cost involved is staggering, far beyond the initial purchase price of the animal. Consider the specialized enclosures required to safely house a 1,000-pound tiger or a troop of chimpanzees. These aren't simple cages, but meticulously designed habitats that must meet stringent, often complex, safety standards. Then there's the ongoing expense of feeding these animals a highly specialized diet, often costing tens of thousands of dollars per month. Veterinary care for exotic animals is incredibly expensive and specialized, requiring expert input and potentially life-saving interventions that can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single emergency. Beyond that, a full-time staff of experienced animal handlers, trainers, and veterinarians is often necessary to ensure the animal's well-being and the safety of everyone on the property. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar annual operating budget just to maintain a private collection of exotic creatures. However, the ethical concerns surrounding private exotic animal ownership are immense and cannot be overstated. Many of these animals are wild by nature, with complex behavioral and psychological needs that simply cannot be met in a private, contained environment, regardless of how large or well-appointed it might be. Animals like tigers, lions, and bears require vast territories, intricate social structures, and the opportunity to hunt and forage, behaviors that are inherently stifled in captivity. This often leads to stress, behavioral abnormalities, and a diminished quality of life for the animals. There's also the significant public safety risk. Despite elaborate security measures, escapes do happen, posing a serious threat to local communities. Furthermore, the trade in exotic animals frequently fuels illegal poaching and wildlife trafficking, putting immense pressure on already vulnerable wild populations and undermining global conservation efforts. While some owners may claim to be contributing to conservation, the reality is often that these private collections contribute little to genetic diversity or species survival in the wild. The legal landscape surrounding exotic animal ownership in the United States is a patchwork of state and federal regulations, making it incredibly complex and at times ambiguous. Some states have outright bans on certain species, while others have lax regulations, allowing individuals to own dangerous animals with minimal oversight. This legal gray area often creates loopholes that the wealthy can exploit, navigating the intricacies of permits, licenses, and zoning laws to establish their private zoos. The ability to hire top legal counsel and lobbyists can sometimes influence legislative outcomes, further complicating efforts to restrict such ownership. This highlights a troubling aspect of extreme wealth, the capacity to operate in regulatory gray zones, pushing the boundaries of what is legally and ethically permissible. Ultimately, the phenomenon of private exotic animal collections among the ultra-rich is a stark reminder that immense wealth can enable profound indulgences, even those that come at a significant ethical cost. It raises critical questions about human dominion over nature, the welfare of wild animals, and the responsibilities that come with unlimited financial power. While the idea of a private tiger might seem like the ultimate symbol of luxury to some, it represents a profound moral dilemma for many others, forcing us to consider whether the thrill of ownership can ever justify the potential harm to these magnificent creatures and the broader implications for wildlife conservation. From the serious ethical dilemmas of private zoos, our journey through the eccentric world of ultra-rich spending takes a delightful, if equally outlandish, turn. Imagine a vehicle that embodies both the pinnacle of automotive engineering and the whimsical joy of childhood. A $1.5 million supercar transformed into a fully functional ice cream truck. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're talking about a hypercar, the kind usually reserved for high-speed track days or making a grand entrance at exclusive events, repurposed with freezers, a serving window, and everything else needed to dispense frozen treats. This isn't about starting a mobile dessert business. It's about throwing the most extravagant, over-the-top neighborhood party imaginable, turning a mundane experience into an unforgettable spectacle of wealth and playfulness. Picture this, a gleaming Lamborghini Aventador or a Ferrari LaFerrari, typically roaring down the highway with hundreds of horsepower, now gently idling. Its doors replaced with custom-fabricated panels that open to reveal an array of gourmet ice creams, sorbets, and perhaps even bespoke frozen confections. The transformation of such a machine is an engineering marvel in itself. It requires stripping down a significant portion of the car's interior, meticulously installing state-of-the-art, miniaturized freezers that can maintain ultra-cold temperatures despite the vehicle's high-performance engine, and then integrating a sophisticated power system to run all the equipment without draining the car's primary battery. The exterior would need custom bodywork to create a serving window that blends seamlessly with the car's aerodynamic lines, all while maintaining the vehicle's aesthetic integrity and, crucially, its eye-watering value. The challenges extend to ensuring adequate insulation, proper ventilation for the cooling units, and even designing custom serving utensils that complement the car's luxurious brand. This isn't just a conversion, it's a bespoke automotive art project. The price tag, $1.5 million, encompasses not just the cost of the supercar itself, which could be upwards of $500,000 to begin with, but also the extensive, highly specialized customization work. This level of modification requires the expertise of automotive engineers, refrigeration specialists, and master fabricators, all working in concert to create a vehicle that is both a high-performance machine and a mobile dessert parlor. It's an investment in pure spectacle and unparalleled luxury, a statement that says, I can afford to turn a racing machine into a vehicle for dispensing happiness simply because I want to. The rationale behind such a purchase is never about return on investment in a traditional sense. There's no business plan, no thought of profit margins from selling scoops of ice cream. Instead, it's about creating an experience that is utterly unique, the ultimate party favor that instantly elevates any gathering from memorable to legendary. Consider the reaction of guests, young and old, when a hypercar pulls up and starts serving ice cream. It's an instant conversation piece, a viral moment waiting to happen, and a tangible example of luxury reimagined. For the ultra-rich, who often have everything money can buy, the true luxury lies in originality, in acquiring something that no one else possesses, and in orchestrating moments of pure, unadulterated delight. This supercar ice cream truck is a testament to the fact that for some, wealth isn't just about accumulating assets. It's about transforming the mundane into the magical, turning the everyday into an extraordinary event, and demonstrating that when you have no financial limitations, even the simplest pleasures can be delivered in the most unimaginable ways. It's a whimsical yet profoundly illustrative example of how extreme wealth can fuel fantasies that merge high-octane performance with childhood dreams, proving that for those with truly limitless resources, even an ice cream run can be an epic adventure. From custom hypercar ice cream trucks, we now pivot to an even more audacious display of wealth and a desire for control: the purchase of a personal weather modification system. Imagine having such immense resources that you not only want to influence your immediate surroundings, but wish to command the very skies above your property. For some ultra-rich landowners, this isn't a fantasy but a tangible investment, employing cloud seeding technology or other specialized equipment to try and ensure perfect weather for an exclusive event, protect a valuable agricultural asset like a vineyard, or simply satisfy a desire for unprecedented environmental control. This goes far beyond planting a few trees for shade. It's an attempt to literally bend the elements to one's will. The concept of weather modification, often known as cloud seeding, involves dispersing substances into the air, typically silver iodide or dry ice, to alter clouds and cause precipitation. While public and governmental entities have used this technology for decades to combat droughts or suppress hail, the truly bizarre twist comes when a private individual commissions such an operation. The investment required is substantial. It includes not just the sophisticated ground-based generators or aircraft equipped with dispersal mechanisms, but also the highly specialized meteorological expertise to determine optimal conditions for seeding, and the ongoing operational costs for chemicals, fuel, and personnel. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar endeavor akin to running a small, private scientific operation focused entirely on the atmospheric conditions of one's estate. The financial outlay isn't merely for equipment but for the continuous effort of a dedicated team of atmospheric scientists and pilots, all working to create a bespoke climate. The motivations behind such a purchase are as fascinating as the technology itself. For a wealthy vineyard owner, ensuring adequate rainfall at specific times or preventing devastating hailstorms could mean the difference between a record-breaking vintage and a significant financial loss. The value of a single harvest from a prestigious vineyard could easily justify the investment in weather modification, transforming it from a mere indulgence into a strategic business decision. However, the more eccentric application often involves social events. Picture a billionaire hosting a lavish outdoor wedding or a high-stakes polo match and wanting to guarantee sunshine for the occasion. The desire to meticulously control every detail to eliminate the unpredictable element of weather becomes paramount, reinforcing the illusion that with enough money, even nature can be tamed. The bragging rights alone of being able to essentially order up a sunny day or a perfectly timed shower are immense, elevating the owner to a near mythological status among their peers. The ethical and practical implications of private weather modification are complex and often contentious. Firstly, there's the question of efficacy. While cloud seeding has shown some success in increasing precipitation or reducing hail, it is far from an exact science, and results can be difficult to definitively measure or guarantee. An owner might spend millions without achieving the desired outcome, leading to a very expensive, very public disappointment. Beyond effectiveness, there are significant environmental concerns. Introducing chemicals into the atmosphere, even in small quantities, raises questions about long-term ecological impacts. More crucially, there's the moral dilemma of weather appropriation. If one landowner successfully induces rain over their property, does it deprive a neighboring area of much-needed precipitation? Does altering weather patterns in one microclimate have unforeseen ripple effects on larger regional ecosystems? These are not trivial concerns, and they speak to the immense power that wealth can bestow, allowing individuals to potentially impact shared natural resources for private gain, often without public consent or oversight. This type of acquisition underscores a profound shift in the mindset of extreme wealth. not just buying the best of what exists, but attempting to create a customized reality, even if that means manipulating fundamental natural processes. It highlights a desire for ultimate control, pushing the boundaries of what is possible when financial limitations are practically non-existent. The decision to invest in personal cloud seeding technology is not just about luxury. It's about a belief in one's ability to transcend environmental constraints, to curate an ideal world where every element, even the weather, can be perfectly tailored to their desires. It's a testament to the idea that when you have everything, the ultimate luxury becomes the power to reshape the very fabric of your surroundings. From attempting to command the weather to our next mind-boggling expenditure, the ultra-rich continue to demonstrate a unique blend of paranoia, preparedness, and an unapologetic embrace of the bizarre. We're talking about the purchase and conversion of a real, decommissioned Soviet nuclear missile silo into a luxury home, or more often, an apocalypse bunker. Imagine having so much wealth that a secure vault in your basement or a fortified mansion simply isn't enough. Instead, you seek the ultimate in personal security and self-sufficiency by acquiring a Cold War-era relic designed to withstand a nuclear blast, then spending millions more to transform it into a subterranean palace. This isn't just about finding a unique property, it's about acquiring a piece of history, an engineering marvel born of global conflict, and repurposing it for personal survival and comfort. These silos, built during the height of the Cold War, were designed to be virtually indestructible, buried deep underground with reinforced concrete walls feet thick, blast doors weighing tons, and independent air and water systems. They were monuments to mutual assured destruction, and now, for a select few, they've become the ultimate symbol of individual preparedness. The initial purchase price for one of these former launch sites can range from a few $100,000 to several million, depending on its condition, location, and the extent of its former military infrastructure that remains intact. However, the real cost comes in the painstaking multi-million-dollar conversion process. Transforming a utilitarian, windowless concrete tube into a livable, luxurious space is an immense undertaking. It involves excavating tons of earth, removing hazardous materials, and then meticulously designing and building entirely new living quarters within the existing shell. Think about the engineering challenges: installing plumbing, electrical, and HVAC systems in a structure never intended for human habitation, or creating multiple levels within the silo's narrow confines. The interior designs often rival those of high-end penthouses, featuring gourmet kitchens, opulent bathrooms, spacious living areas, and even dedicated entertainment zones like home theaters, gyms, and wine cellars. All of this must be integrated while maintaining the silo's original fortifications, including those massive blast doors that can seal off the entire residence from the outside world. The goal is to create a space that offers not just impenetrable security, but also a comfortable, even opulent, living environment capable of sustaining its occupants for months or even years, completely isolated from external events. The appeal of owning such a unique property is multifaceted for the ultra-rich. For some, it's the ultimate expression of preparedness, a secure sanctuary against any conceivable catastrophe, from natural disasters to societal collapse. For others, it's a privacy statement, offering an unparalleled level of seclusion and an escape from public scrutiny. And for a select few, it's simply the ultimate toy, a conversation piece that dwarfs any other luxury, a tangible representation of their ability to acquire the most extraordinary and fortified assets on Earth. The cost of these renovations can easily soar into the tens of millions of dollars, turning a Cold War relic into a cutting-edge, self-sufficient fortress. This includes not only the structural and interior design work, but also the installation of advanced air filtration systems, massive water purification and storage capabilities, independent power generation systems, and extensive food storage facilities. This type of purchase highlights a unique aspect of extreme wealth, When you have everything imaginable, the pursuit of security and self-preservation takes on an entirely new dimension. It's not just about protecting assets, it's about ensuring survival and maintaining a desired standard of living regardless of what happens outside those impenetrable walls. The decommissioned missile silo, once a symbol of global threat, now stands as a bizarre testament to personal freedom and ultimate control for those who can afford such an extraordinary and immensely expensive peace of mind. It makes one wonder what kind of future its inhabitants are truly preparing for, and how completely isolated they intend to be. From fortified underground escape pods built to withstand Armageddon, we now ascend to a far more ethereal yet equally telling display of ultimate luxury. Imagine having so much wealth that the very scent of money isn't just a metaphor for your financial status, but something you literally desire to wear, to envelop yourself in, to project into the world. Our next bizarre expenditure centers on the commission of a custom perfume designed to mimic the elusive, unique smell of crisp new dollar bills. This isn't just about smelling good, it's about embodying the aroma of unparalleled financial power, a fragrant declaration of one's place at the top of the economic food chain. The idea of money having a distinct scent might seem abstract to most, but for those who handle vast sums of it, particularly in its fresh from the mint form, the smell is surprisingly tangible. It's a complex blend, the metallic tang of the ink, the earthy notes of the paper, the subtle hint of cotton and linen, and perhaps even the faint, almost ozone-like freshness of newness. Capturing this specific olfactory profile and bottling it into a wearable fragrance is no small feat. It requires the expertise of master perfumers, artists who typically blend top notes of citrus or florals with base notes of musk or wood. In this case, their challenge is to deconstruct and then meticulously reconstruct the subtle nuances of currency, creating something evocative, luxurious, and undeniably unique. This bespoke process involves countless hours of experimentation, sourcing rare and specific aromatic compounds, and refining the formula until it perfectly replicates the desired financial bouquet. The cost for such a customized, one-of-a-kind scent can easily run into the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, making it far more exclusive than any mass-produced designer fragrance. But what drives someone to commission a perfume that smells like money? The psychology behind such a desire is deeply fascinating. On a superficial level, it's about ultimate exclusivity and a profound form of conspicuous consumption. When traditional luxury goods, the designer clothes, the high-end cars, the opulent jewelry, no longer offer sufficient distinction, the ultra-rich seek out experiences and products that are entirely bespoke, utterly unattainable by anyone else. A perfume that literally smells of wealth is the epitome of this, a personal signature that transcends mere branding and enters the realm of pure, unadulterated status. It's a subtle yet powerful declaration, a silent signal to those in one's immediate vicinity that they are in the presence of someone with extraordinary means. It reinforces the idea that their very essence, down to their personal scent, is imbued with success and financial dominance. Beyond mere status, there's a deeper, almost primal connection to the concept of money itself. For many of the ultra-rich, money isn't just a means to an end. It's a source of security, power, freedom, and even identity. To literally wear the smell of it is to internalize and project these feelings, creating a psychological feedback loop that reinforces their confidence and sense of control. It's a way of constantly reminding themselves and subtly informing others of their immense capabilities and achievements. It speaks to a desire to fully embody their success, making it an intrinsic part of their personal aura. It's an act of self-affirmation, a daily ritual that encapsulates their financial mastery in the most intimate, sensory way possible. Furthermore, this particular type of custom fragrance taps into a sensory experience that is often subconscious but powerfully evocative. The smell of money, whether from a new bill or a wad of fresh currency, often triggers associations with power, success, and opportunity. By converting this into a personal scent, the wearer creates an almost subliminal influence, projecting an aura of prosperity that is not just seen but deeply felt. It's an investment in an aspect of luxury that escapes the visual, a private indulgence that also serves as a very public, albeit subtle, statement. It's a bizarre yet compelling illustration of how the pursuit of ultimate wealth extends beyond the material, delving into the very essence of sensory experience and personal branding, proving that for those with limitless resources, even the air they breathe can be curated to reflect their extraordinary financial dominion. From perfuming oneself with the scent of lucre, we pivot to another extravagant display of wealth that transcends mere material possessions: the private concert by a major music icon for a birthday or family event. Imagine having such immense financial power that booking a world-renowned artist like Beyoncé, Elton John, Paul McCartney, or Taylor Swift for an intimate performance in your backyard is not just a fantasy but a feasible option. This isn't about attending a stadium show with thousands of other fans. It's about curating a personal, exclusive experience where global superstars perform just for you and your chosen few, turning a milestone celebration into an unforgettable, once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. The costs associated with securing such a list talent for a private gig are staggering, often rumored to be in the multi-million-dollar range for just a few hours of entertainment. This fee covers not only the artist's performance but also the extensive logistical ballet required to bring a stadium-level production to a private residence or exclusive venue. Think about the entire entourage: the artists themselves, their band, backup singers, dancers, sound engineers, lighting technicians, stage managers, security personnel, and personal assistants. Each of these individuals requires travel, accommodation, and per diems, often in five-star luxury. Then there's the equipment: state-of-the-art sound systems, elaborate lighting rigs, video screens, and all the instruments, costumes, and props that make a major concert. This often means transporting tons of gear across continents, requiring private jets, dedicated cargo planes, and a convoy of trucks to deliver everything to the event location. The sheer complexity of setting up a professional stage, complete with sound checks and rehearsals, demands weeks of preparation and a small army of technicians, all on the client's dime. The appeal of such an extravagant expenditure for the ultra-rich is multifaceted. Firstly, it offers unparalleled exclusivity. In a world where luxury can often be bought off the shelf, commissioning a private performance by a global icon represents a bespoke experience that few on the planet can ever hope to attain. It's the ultimate bragging right, a story that will be told and retold for generations, cementing the host's status as someone who can truly make anything happen. Secondly, it transforms a personal celebration into a legendary event. A 50th birthday, a wedding anniversary, or a child's coming-of-age party becomes imbued with a magical quality when a favorite artist performs their greatest hits just feet away. The intimate setting allows for a connection between artist and audience that is simply impossible in a public arena, making for profoundly personal and emotional memories. Furthermore, for individuals who have likely attended countless public concerts and have access to the best seats, the private concert fulfills a desire for something more, something entirely tailored to their preferences. They might request specific songs, arrange for special dedications, or even have the artist mingle with guests for a brief period, turning a remote idol into a personal guest. This level of access and personalization is the true luxury, far beyond the monetary cost. It's not just about the music, it's about the entire experience, the effortless execution of a grand vision that leaves guests awestruck and creates a sense of wonder. However, these private performances also highlight the vast economic disparities that exist. While the average person struggles to afford a ticket to a single public concert, the ultra-rich can command multi-million-dollar performances, sometimes on a whim. It signifies a world where access to art and entertainment is increasingly stratified, reinforcing the notion that for some, money truly can buy any experience, no matter how exclusive or seemingly impossible. This kind of expenditure isn't about necessity or even traditional investment. It is purely about maximizing pleasure, status, and the creation of unforgettable moments that underscore an almost limitless capacity to indulge. It illustrates how wealth, when unconstrained, allows individuals to bypass the conventional public sphere and construct a private reality where even the most celebrated global figures become personal entertainers for an evening. From commanding private concerts by global icons, our exploration of extravagant spending now shifts to a seemingly innocent childhood toy, transformed by immense wealth into something utterly preposterous. Prepare for the shocking reality of a solid gold, functional yo-yo, a plaything so lavishly conceived and executed that its price tag easily pushes into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. This isn't your average plastic or even high-end aluminum yo-yo. It's a meticulously crafted piece of jewelry, a gleaming testament to the fact that for some, even nostalgic amusements can become vehicles for mind-boggling conspicuous consumption. Imagine a yo-yo designed not for rough and tumble playground tricks, but for display, its surfaces gleaming with the unmistakable luster of pure gold, perhaps even encrusted with diamonds or other precious gemstones around its edges. The craftsmanship involved in creating such an item is immense. It requires master jewelers and specialized engineers to not only shape and polish solid gold into the precise, balanced form of a yo-yo, but also to ensure that it remains perfectly functional. The weight, the symmetry, and the smooth spin essential for yo-yo tricks all become infinitely more challenging when working with a heavy, soft, and incredibly expensive material like gold. The smallest imperfection in its construction would render it unusable, turning a potential six-figure toy into a very costly paperweight. Therefore, every curve, every angle, and every jewel placement must be executed with absolute precision, making it as much a feat of engineering as it is a work of art. The cost of such an item is derived from several factors. Firstly, the sheer volume of precious metal involved. A yo-yo of substantial size might require pounds of gold, instantly elevating its material value. Secondly, the inclusion of high-quality diamonds or other gems would add significantly to the expense, transforming it from a mere gold object into a dazzling piece of haute jewelry. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, is the bespoke nature of the creation. This isn't something mass-produced, it's a custom commission, a one-of-a-kind piece crafted for a client who desires ultimate exclusivity. The labor of the skilled artisans, the design fees, and the sheer intellectual property involved in bringing such a unique concept to life all contribute to its astronomical price. It's an investment in a singular object that exists primarily as a symbol of unparalleled wealth and a whimsical taste for the extraordinarily unique. The existence of a solid gold, functional yo-yo raises fascinating questions about the psychology of the ultra-rich. Why would someone spend such an exorbitant sum on a children's toy, especially one made from materials that make it impractical for actual play? For many, it's about the ultimate expression of disposable income, a tangible declaration that they have so much wealth, they can turn even the most frivolous objects into priceless artifacts. It transcends logic, moving into the realm of pure indulgence, a playful defiance of conventional value. It also taps into a desire for unique, bespoke items that cannot be replicated, symbolizing a level of luxury so extreme it borders on the absurd. This yo-yo isn't just about fun. It's a statement, a silent boast of financial power so immense that even their playthings are crafted from the most precious materials on Earth. It's an adult plaything that represents the pinnacle of luxury, demonstrating that for those with truly limitless resources, even childhood nostalgia can be elevated to an art form, regardless of the practicality or even the common sense involved. From solid gold yo-yos designed for human amusement, we now shift our focus to an even more astonishing display of affection and immense wealth, the purchase of an entire private island, not for the billionaire themselves, but specifically as an unrestrained paradise for their beloved dogs. Imagine having so much money that the idea of a simple dog park or even a sprawling estate with acres of land seems utterly insufficient for your canine companions. Instead, you decide to acquire an entire island, an exclusive, untamed haven where your pack of dogs can roam free, swim in the ocean, and live a life of unparalleled canine bliss, far from the constraints of leashes, fences, or human interference. While specific names are often kept under wraps when it comes to such extreme private acquisitions, rumors and anecdotal evidence within affluent circles suggest this isn't just a fantasy. There are whispers of billionaires acquiring small, uninhabited islands, particularly in warm climates where the primary resident is not a human, but a carefully selected pack of pampered pooches. The cost of such an acquisition could range from several $100,000 for a tiny, undeveloped patch of land to tens of millions for a more substantial island with existing infrastructure or prime location. But the initial purchase is just the beginning. The real expense lies in transforming this island into a safe, luxurious, and fully functional habitat for dogs. Think about the logistics involved: ensuring a fresh water supply, either through desalination plants or a well, establishing a reliable power source, and building basic shelters that can withstand the elements while providing comfort for the animals. These aren't just shacks, they are often climate-controlled, pest-free havens designed with canine needs in mind. Beyond the basic infrastructure, the island would need to be meticulously secured to prevent any of the valuable canine residents from escaping or any unwanted visitors from intruding. This might involve discreet fencing along the perimeter, sophisticated surveillance systems, and a dedicated, round-the-clock staff. This staff isn't just caretakers, they are highly paid professionals, including canine behaviorists, veterinarians, and trainers, who live on the island to ensure the dog's well-being, health, and happiness. They manage feeding schedules, administer medication, facilitate play, and provide continuous companionship, ensuring that the dogs lack for nothing. Special consideration will be given to creating diverse environments for the dogs to explore, from sandy beaches for digging and swimming to forested areas for sniffing and tracking, all designed to stimulate their natural instincts in a completely safe and controlled setting. This level of personalized care, combined with the unique environment, easily pushes the annual operating costs into the millions of dollars, making the initial island purchase seem almost modest by comparison. The motivation behind such an extravagant expenditure is a fascinating blend of unconditional love for pets, coupled with the ultimate expression of unchecked financial power. For these individuals, their dogs aren't just pets, they are beloved family members, and their desire to provide the absolute best for them knows no bounds. When you have the means to acquire an entire island for yourself, the logical extension of that luxury for some is to extend it to those who bring them the most joy. It's a statement that says, "My love for my animals is so immense and my financial resources so vast that I can create a private kingdom tailored exclusively to their happiness and freedom." This kind of purchase transcends traditional forms of animal care, elevating pet ownership to an art form, a demonstration that every desire, no matter how unusual, can be fulfilled when money is no object. It underscores a fundamental difference in how the super-rich perceive value and necessity, where even the seemingly impossible becomes a tangible reality for their furry companions. From islands custom-built for pampered pooches, we now segue into an area of luxury that touches on the most intimate aspects of daily life, transforming a mundane necessity into an experience of unparalleled opulence and innovation: the $100,000 smart high-tech toilet. For most of us, a toilet is simply a functional fixture in the bathroom, something we rarely give a second thought to beyond its basic purpose. But for the ultra-rich, even this most utilitarian of items can be elevated to a futuristic throne, a marvel of engineering designed to cater to every conceivable comfort and, surprisingly, even monitor one's health. Imagine stepping into your bathroom and encountering a toilet that looks less like a conventional commode and more like a minimalist sculpture or a piece of advanced medical equipment. These ultra-luxury commodes are packed with an astonishing array of features, each meticulously designed to enhance the user experience. The journey often begins before you even touch it. Many models boast automated lids that gracefully open as you approach, perhaps illuminating with a soft, inviting glow. Once seated, you'll discover a heated seat, ensuring comfort even on the chilliest mornings, with temperature customizable to your precise preference. This isn't just a gentle warmth, it's a perfectly maintained, consistent warmth that anticipates your needs, but the true intelligence of these toilets comes to life after use. Integrated bidets are standard, offering multiple spray patterns, adjustable water pressure, and personalized temperature settings, all activated by a touch panel or remote control. Following the wash, built-in air dryers gently complete the process, eliminating the need for toilet paper and adding another layer of hygiene and sustainability. To combat any lingering odors, powerful air purifiers silently activate, ensuring the bathroom remains perpetually fresh. Some advanced models go even further, incorporating subtle deodorizers that release pleasant scents. Beyond personal hygiene, these high-tech toilets venture into the realm of health monitoring. Think about sensors seamlessly integrated into the seat and bowl that can analyze various biometrics. Some units can measure heart rate, blood pressure, and even analyze waste for early indicators of health issues, sending reports directly to a user's smartphone or even their doctor. This transforms a simple bathroom visit into a discreet health checkup, offering a level of proactive wellness monitoring that was once the exclusive domain of medical clinics. And because luxury, for some, means never being disconnected, many of these toilets include discreetly integrated Bluetooth speakers, allowing you to stream music, podcasts, or the news directly to your bathroom, turning a private moment into a personalized auditory experience. The cost of these devices, often reaching $100,000 or more, reflects not only the cutting-edge technology and sophisticated design, but also the premium materials used in their construction, such as fine ceramics, polished metals, and durable, sleek plastics. It's a testament to micro-engineering, where every component, from the quiet flush mechanisms to the finely tuned sensors, operates with seamless precision. For the ultra-rich, this investment isn't just about convenience. It's about optimizing every aspect of their lives, including their most personal routines. It's a pursuit of ultimate comfort, hygiene, and even a discrete form of biodata collection, all wrapped up in a sleek, elegant package. This kind of expenditure highlights how the concept of luxury permeates every corner of their existence, demonstrating that for those with limitless resources, even the most fundamental human needs can be elevated to an art form of innovation and extravagance. From health monitoring smart toilets, we transition to a level of luxury so extreme it borders on preemptive self-preservation. The establishment of a personal firefighting team and the acquisition of a private fleet of fire trucks to protect a single mega mansion. For the ultra-rich, the idea of waiting for municipal emergency services, no matter how efficient, is simply not an option when their multi-million or even billion-dollar properties are at stake, especially in regions prone to wildfires. This isn't just about having an extra fire extinguisher. It's about building a fully operational private fire department solely for one's own estate, complete with trained personnel and specialized equipment that rivals and sometimes surpasses that of small towns. The motivation behind such an astonishing expenditure is often rooted in fear, particularly in areas like California's wildfire zones, where sprawling estates nestled in brush-heavy hillsides are constantly under threat during fire season. While public firefighting agencies deploy vast resources, they are stretched thin across wide areas, and a multi-million-dollar home often cannot afford to wait even a few critical minutes for help to arrive. For those with limitless resources, the solution is simple: create your own first responders. This involves hiring a dedicated team of professional firefighters, often former municipal or wildland fire personnel, who are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, stationed permanently or on rotation near the property. These individuals are not merely security guards. They are highly trained, certified firefighters capable of assessing threats, laying down defensive perimeters, and actively engaging with incipient fires. Beyond the personnel, the investment extends to high-end, custom-built firefighting equipment. We're talking about purchasing actual fire trucks specifically designed for various terrain and fire types, often modified with advanced spraying systems, large water capacities, and rapid deployment capabilities. These aren't just surplus vehicles, they are state-of-the-art machines, potentially costing hundreds of thousands to over $1 million each. The estate might also have its own water reservoirs, helipads for water drops from private helicopters, and access roads meticulously cleared to create defensible space, all monitored by sophisticated thermal imaging cameras and early detection systems. The comprehensive nature of this private fire protection system means that, in the event of an emergency, the initial response is immediate and targeted, potentially saving the property before a larger incident can take hold. The cost of maintaining such a private firefighting operation is astronomical. It includes competitive salaries for a highly specialized team, ongoing training, vehicle maintenance, fuel, insurance, and the continuous upgrade of equipment to ensure peak performance. Annually, this could easily amount to several $1 million, far exceeding the property taxes that contribute to public services. This level of spending highlights a profound philosophical divide, where public safety is a collective responsibility for most. For the ultra-rich, it becomes a privatized, bespoke service. It's about creating an exclusive bubble of security, ensuring that their assets are protected by resources unavailable to the general public, irrespective of the scale of the threat. This phenomenon is a stark reminder of how extreme wealth can create parallel realities. While communities grapple with underfunded public services, some individuals can simply bypass the system and create their own hyper-efficient versions. It raises questions about equity and access to essential services, especially when environmental disasters like wildfires disproportionately affect entire regions. The decision to invest in a personal fire department is not just a practical one. It's a testament to a desire for absolute control, an ultimate expression of self-reliance, and a chilling illustration of how wealth can insulate individuals from shared risks, proving that for those with truly limitless resources, even the most fundamental public safety nets can be replaced with a private, exclusive, and immensely expensive alternative. From private fire departments that shield extravagant homes, our journey through the peculiar expenditures of the ultra-rich now takes a delightfully nostalgic turn, exploring a different kind of personal fortress, a private arcade filled with a pristine fleet of vintage video games. Imagine having so much wealth that instead of simply recalling the golden age of arcade gaming, you decide to recreate it, curating a museum-quality collection of rare, mint-condition cabinets from the 1980s and 1990s, all for your personal enjoyment and an endless trip down memory lane. This isn't just about owning a classic Pac-Man machine. It's about building an immersive, perfectly preserved temple to pixelated glory, a sanctuary where every flicker of light and every synthesized sound instantly transports you back to your childhood. The creation of such a personal arcade is a monumental undertaking, far beyond what the average collector might attempt. It begins with the hunt for authentic, fully functional arcade cabinets, which themselves can be incredibly difficult to find in good condition. Many of these machines, once ubiquitous in malls and pizza parlors, have been damaged, discarded, or allowed to fall into disrepair, For the ultra-rich collector, the goal isn't just functionality but aesthetic perfection. This means sourcing cabinets that are not only operational but have pristine artwork, unblemished marquees, and flawless joysticks and buttons, often requiring extensive, museum-quality restoration work. Each game, depending on its rarity and condition, can cost tens of thousands of dollars, easily reaching sums that would buy a luxury car. A single, iconic title like a completely original Tron cabinet or a fully working Dragon's Lair with its unique Laserdisc player could command prices well over $100,000, reflecting its status as a piece of cultural history. Beyond the initial acquisition of the games, the true cost lies in building the perfect environment for them. This isn't a dusty basement. It's a meticulously designed space, often custom-built within a sprawling estate or a dedicated annex. Think about specialized climate control systems to protect delicate electronics and preserve the original artwork, as well as custom lighting to evoke the authentic glow of a dim arcade. Soundproofing is crucial to ensure that the cacophony of beeps, boops, and explosions from dozens of games doesn't overwhelm the space or disturb the rest of the household. The wiring required to power a fleet of these energy-hungry machines is complex, often necessitating industrial-grade electrical installations. And of course, there's the ongoing maintenance, hiring expert technicians to keep these aging machines in perfect working order, sourcing rare replacement parts, and continuously calibrating screens and controls to ensure an optimal gaming experience. This represents a continuous, significant financial commitment, turning a hobby into a substantial operational expense. The motivation for such an extravagant collection is deeply rooted in nostalgia, but it transcends simple sentimentality. For individuals who came of age during the arcade boom of the 1980s, these games represent not just entertainment but a powerful connection to a simpler time, a period before the complexities of immense wealth and global responsibility. It's a way to recapture a piece of their youth, to escape into a world where the only challenge was beating a high score and the only currency that mattered was a quarter. This private arcade becomes a personal time capsule, a sanctuary where the owner can freely indulge in their passion without the pressure of public scrutiny or the need to share. It's an ultimate form of self-indulgence, a tangible representation of their ability to buy not just objects, but experiences and memories. Moreover, the act of curating such a collection is an expression of connoisseurship, a display of an appreciation for historical artifacts that happen to be interactive. It showcases a refined taste for a particular era of technological and cultural innovation. While many might collect classic cars or fine art, a private arcade speaks to a more personal, perhaps even quirky, passion. It's a statement that says, "I have everything I could ever want, including the ability to relive my favorite childhood moments whenever I choose, in the most authentic and pristine way possible." This bizarre expenditure highlights how wealth can be channeled into fulfilling deeply personal desires, transforming fleeting nostalgia into a permanent, highly maintained, and immensely expensive reality. It illustrates that for those with limitless resources, even the pursuit of simple fun can become an extraordinary project, cementing their status as the ultimate guardians of geek chic. From private arcades that rekindle childhood memories, we delve deeper into the astonishing world of pet pampering among the ultra-rich, reaching a level of indulgence that truly redefines the meaning of a bird brain. Prepare yourself for the astounding reality of a $40,000 featherbed designed specifically for a pet parrot. This isn't a whimsical exaggeration. It's a meticulously crafted, opulent sleeping arrangement for an avian companion, highlighting the bizarre hierarchy of value that emerges when immense wealth meets unconditional love for a feathered friend. Imagine a parrot, perhaps a vibrant macaw or an intelligent African grey, nestled comfortably in a bed so plush it would make most humans envious. This isn't just a simple perch or a standard birdcage liner. This is a custom-made mattress, generously stuffed with the finest, ethically sourced down feathers, providing an unparalleled level of softness and insulation. The exterior of this avian slumber sanctuary is often crafted from luxurious, breathable fabrics, perhaps even silk or velvet, chosen not only for comfort but also for their aesthetic appeal. And the opulence doesn't stop with the bed itself. This feather bed is typically housed within an equally lavish cage, often constructed from exotic hardwoods, accented with polished brass, or, in the most extreme cases, adorned with intricate gold leaf detailing. Forget about plastic trays and wire mesh. This is a multi-tiered avian abode, complete with miniature chandeliers, automated feeding systems, and perhaps even a subtle, built-in sound system playing soothing forest sounds or classical music to lull the pampered parrot to sleep. The cost of such an item, a staggering $40,000, encompasses not only the premium materials but also the bespoke craftsmanship involved in its creation. This isn't something you pick up at a pet store. It's a commissioned piece designed by artisans who specialize in luxury pet accessories, ensuring every detail caters to the unique needs and comfort of a bird, while simultaneously serving as a flamboyant display of the owner's wealth. The rationale behind such an expenditure is a fascinating blend of deep affection and ultimate status signaling. For these individuals, their pet parrots are not merely caged birds. They are companions, confidantes, and often an extension of their owners' personalities and lifestyles. The desire to provide the absolute best for their feathered friend, even if it means furnishing it with a bed that costs more than a luxury car, stems from an almost limitless capacity for generosity and a profound emotional connection. However, beyond the love, there's an undeniable element of conspicuous consumption at play. In a world where every conventional luxury has been acquired, the pursuit of unique, over-the-top items extends to every corner of their lives, including their pets. A $40,000 feather bed for a parrot becomes a conversation piece, a subtle yet powerful declaration of wealth that suggests, "My pet receives luxuries you can only dream of." It highlights a fascinating, if sometimes unsettling, hierarchy of value where the comfort of an animal can command a price tag that eclipses the annual income of many households. This kind of purchase makes one reflect on the sheer disparity of resources, where pet accessories become symbols of ultimate prestige, proving that for the ultra-rich, even the most unexpected corners of life can be transformed into opportunities for unparalleled indulgence and a demonstration of boundless, often bewildering financial power. From $40,000 featherbeds for parrots, we now turn our attention to an entirely different kind of indulgence, the creation of a full-size, meticulously accurate replica of the Oval Office right inside a private home. Imagine having so much wealth and perhaps such powerful political aspirations or an equally powerful ego that merely decorating your office with tasteful art isn't enough. Instead, you decide to recreate one of the most iconic and powerful rooms in the world, down to the last detail, turning a portion of your residence into a personal seat of global power. This isn't just about interior design, it's about acquiring a symbol, a psychological prop, and a very expensive architectural statement. The construction of such a replica is a monumental undertaking, far exceeding the complexity and cost of a typical luxury renovation. It begins with painstaking research and meticulous attention to detail. Every aspect, from the dimensions of the room itself to the precise shade of paint on the walls, must be faithfully reproduced. This includes the intricate crown molding, the specific design of the fireplace, the layout of the large windows overlooking a meticulously landscaped, often fabricated, replica of the White House rose garden, and even the type of wood used for the flooring. Professional architects and artisans who specialize in historical restoration are often commissioned for such projects, poring over blueprints, photographs, and historical documents to ensure absolute authenticity. They might even consult former White House staff or presidential historians to capture the nuances of the room's atmosphere and functionality. The centerpiece of any Oval Office replica is, of course, the Resolute desk. Acquiring a true replica of this historic desk, often made from the timbers of the HMS Resolute, a sailing ship, involves commissioning master craftsmen who can meticulously carve every detail and reproduce its distinctive features. Beyond the desk, every piece of furniture, from the leather chairs for guests to the flag stands, must be either custom-made to match the originals or sourced from high-end antique dealers specializing in period pieces. The famous presidential seals, typically embedded in the carpet or displayed on the walls, are custom fabricated with absolute precision, often using traditional embroidery techniques for the carpet and sculpted metal for wall fixtures, all contributing to the genuine feel of the space. The cost of such a project easily runs into the millions of dollars. This includes not only the design and construction fees, but also the procurement of rare materials, the salaries of highly specialized craftsmen, and the installation of custom technology that might mimic the real Oval Office's communication systems, albeit for private use. Beyond the tangible elements, there's the intellectual property and the sheer effort involved in recreating such a sensitive and symbolically charged space. For the individual commissioning such a room, the motivation is rarely purely aesthetic. It often stems from a deep-seated fascination with power, a desire to inhabit the space where monumental decisions are made, or an ambition to project an image of authority and influence. For someone with political aspirations, it might serve as a constant reminder of their goals, a personal training ground, or even a unique venue for informal meetings with influential figures, subtly conveying their seriousness and ambition. Moreover, for those with a powerful ego, owning a personal Oval Office goes beyond mere aspiration. It's a tangible manifestation of their self-perception, a statement to themselves and their inner circle that they belong in the highest echelons of power. It allows them to literally sit at the desk where presidents have sat, to conduct their affairs in an environment steeped in historical significance. This kind of expenditure highlights a fascinating aspect of extreme wealth. When traditional markers of success are no longer enough, individuals seek to acquire symbols that embody abstract concepts like power, influence, and historical importance. The private Oval Office becomes the ultimate status symbol for someone who desires not just wealth, but an aura of political gravitas, proving that for those with limitless resources, even the very essence of presidential authority can be purchased and integrated into their private world. From custom Oval Office replicas that embody the pinnacle of political aspiration, we descend into a realm where the most basic human need, food, is transformed into an almost incomprehensible display of excess. Our next bizarre expenditure centers on a single pizza, not just any pizza, but one adorned with a diamond crust and topped with edible gold, commanding a price tag in the thousands of dollars. This isn't about satisfying hunger or even enjoying gourmet flavors. It's about the ultimate spectacle of consumption, a culinary flex designed to shock, impress, and solidify one's status among the ultra-rich. This absurdly expensive food item, often referred to as the Louis Roman XIII pizza, or similarly extravagant names, is less a meal and more a performance piece. Its creation involves sourcing ingredients so rare and coveted they border on mythical. The crust, rumored to be infused with black truffle powder and specially aged dough, might even be garnished with tiny, edible gemstones, hence the diamond crust moniker. The toppings are where the true opulence takes over. Think multiple types of imported caviar, each spooned onto the cheese and sauce with delicate reverence. Often, the pizza boasts hand-selected luxury cheeses from remote European monasteries, Italian white truffles shaved tableside with flourish, and the finest foie gras. But the crowning glory, and the element that truly pushes it into the realm of the bizarre, is the generous scattering of pure 24-karat edible gold leaf. Imagine hundreds of shimmering, golden flakes fluttering down onto your pie, turning a simple dinner into a literal gold rush on a plate. The process of ordering and consuming such a pizza is itself part of the experience. It's not something you call in for delivery. It's a bespoke culinary event often overseen by a celebrity chef or a highly specialized team. Reservations are required, sometimes months in advance, and the ingredients are flown in from around the globe just for your specific order. The presentation is as vital as the ingredients. The pizza might arrive on a meticulously crafted silver platter, perhaps under a cloche of dry ice to create a dramatic, smoky reveal. Waiters, often with white gloves, serve each slice with the precision of a surgeon, emphasizing its preciousness. The atmosphere created around its consumption is one of hushed reverence, almost as if one is participating in a sacred ritual rather than simply eating dinner. The cost, easily running into several $1,000s for a single pizza, goes far beyond the sum of its ingredients. It includes the labor of these specialized chefs, the exclusivity of the sourced components, the logistics of their procurement, and the sheer artistry of the presentation. But the true value for the individual purchasing it lies in the story, the bragging rights, and the undeniable theatricality of the moment. This isn't about taste, which is often secondary to the visual and experiential spectacle. While the ingredients are undoubtedly of the highest quality, the combination can sometimes be overwhelming or even odd to the palate. The motivation isn't gastronomic pleasure, but rather the act of performing extreme wealth, demonstrating that one has so much disposable income they can essentially eat money, transforming it into a high-calorie, highly Instagrammable statement. The diamond-crusted, gold-topped pizza highlights a fascinating intersection of culinary art and financial excess. It underscores how for the ultra-rich, even the most basic of human needs can be twisted into a competitive sport of extravagance. It's a testament to the belief that if something can be made more expensive and less practical, it will be, simply because there's a market for those who have everything but yearn for the unique, the unbelievable, and the utterly over-the-top. This kind of expenditure makes one ponder the true meaning of value and necessity, illustrating how for those with limitless resources, even a simple meal can become an act of unparalleled, gilded indulgence. From edible gold pizzas that tantalize the taste buds, our journey into the baffling world of ultra-rich spending now shifts to an area that, while seemingly practical, reveals a profound and almost melancholic aspect of extreme wealth: the private, high-security art storage facility. Imagine having such an immense collection of priceless art master paintings, ancient sculptures, rare antiquities that your sprawling mansions and luxury penthouses simply don't have enough wall space to display it all. The solution for the ultra-rich isn't to sell off pieces or rotate them into public museums, but to rent or even build a massive, climate-controlled, bank vault-like warehouse, specifically designed not for public viewing, but simply to store a collection too vast to ever be fully enjoyed or even seen at once by its owner. These aren't just glorified storage units, they are state-of-the-art fortresses, purpose-built to safeguard billions of dollars worth of artistic and historical treasures. Think about structures designed to withstand natural disasters, terrorist attacks, and even the most sophisticated theft attempts. The specifications are astounding: walls of reinforced concrete, multiple layers of biometric security, anti-seismic foundations, and sophisticated fire suppression systems that use inert gases instead of water to prevent damage to the artworks. Temperature and humidity are meticulously controlled, often within a single degree or percentage point, to prevent deterioration of delicate materials over decades or even centuries. The facilities are staffed by highly trained security personnel, art handlers, and conservators, many of whom have backgrounds in military or intelligence services, all dedicated to the silent, unseen preservation of these hidden troves. The cost of building such a facility can easily run into the hundreds of millions of dollars, while annual rental fees for prime spaces within existing facilities can exceed several $1 million for a single private vault. The motivation behind amassing such vast, largely unseen collections is complex. For some, it's a shrewd financial investment strategy. Art, especially blue-chip masterpieces, has proven to be a remarkably resilient asset class, often appreciating significantly over time, sometimes outperforming traditional stock markets. Storing it in a tax-free zone, such as Geneva or Singapore, further enhances its financial appeal, allowing billionaires to defer or avoid significant tax liabilities. For others, it's about prestige and legacy. Owning a significant collection, even if hidden, grants a certain status within the exclusive world of art connoisseurs and philanthropists. It's a silent power play, a demonstration that one has not only the wealth to acquire such treasures, but also the sophistication to appreciate and preserve them. However, for a significant portion of these collectors, the primary driver is simply the insatiable desire to own. It's a compulsion, a drive to acquire, to possess beauty and history, regardless of whether it can be constantly admired. The thrill lies in the acquisition, the certainty of ownership, and the knowledge that these masterpieces are theirs, even if they reside in a subterranean vault miles away. The irony, of course, is that these private art fortresses become mausoleums for masterpieces that were often created for public adoration, religious reverence, or communal storytelling. Works of art that once hung in grand cathedrals, adorned royal palaces, or graced public galleries now sit in sterile, temperature-controlled environments, seen only by the few technicians responsible for their upkeep. This phenomenon highlights a peculiar aspect of extreme wealth, when acquisition becomes an end in itself, rather than a means to enjoyment or sharing. It can lead to a kind of gilded isolation for both the owner and the art. The value shifts from aesthetic appreciation or cultural enrichment to pure asset management and the quiet satisfaction of private possession. It also raises questions about accessibility and the purpose of art itself. Should such invaluable cultural heritage be locked away, accessible only to its owner and a handful of specialized staff? Or does its existence, even in hidden storage, serve a purpose, perhaps as a hedge against future instability, ready to be unveiled at a later date? This bizarre expenditure serves as a powerful reminder that for the ultra-rich, the definition of luxury extends far beyond personal consumption. It encompasses the quiet accumulation of assets on a scale that defies traditional notions of utility or even enjoyment. The private, high-security art storage facility stands as a monument to unchecked financial power, suggesting that for some, the ultimate luxury isn't just about possessing beautiful things, but about possessing so many beautiful things that they must be hidden away, a testament to a wealth so profound it transcends the need for public display, proving that for those with truly limited resources, even the most celebrated works of human creativity can become mere inventory in a private, unseen empire. From hidden art collections that speak to a profound sense of private ownership, we now turn to an expenditure that embodies pure, unadulterated thrills seeking on an almost unimaginable scale: the installation of a personal, full-size roller coaster right on a private estate. Imagine having such immense wealth that the thought of visiting an amusement park, enduring queues, and sharing the experience with the general public becomes unappealing. Instead, you decide to bring the thrill home, commissioning a multi-million-dollar custom-engineered roller coaster for your exclusive enjoyment and that of your chosen guest. This isn't a miniature ride or a glorified backyard swing set. It's a legitimate, professionally designed and constructed amusement park attraction, built purely for personal pleasure. The concept of a private roller coaster stretches the boundaries of what is conventionally considered a home amenity. The engineering behind such a project is incredibly complex, requiring the expertise of specialized amusement ride designers, structural engineers, and construction crews who typically work on large-scale public parks. The process begins with extensive site analysis to determine the optimal layout, taking into account the topography of the estate, soil stability, and potential environmental impacts. Then comes the design phase, where custom track layouts, loop-de-loops, corkscrews, and drops are meticulously planned to deliver a unique and exhilarating ride experience tailored to the owner's specifications. The actual construction involves laying down massive concrete foundations, erecting towering support structures, and precisely assembling miles of steel track, all while adhering to rigorous safety standards. And this is before even considering the design and fabrication of the custom ride vehicles themselves, often featuring bespoke luxury finishes and advanced safety restraints. The cost of such an endeavor is astronomical, easily running into the tens of millions of dollars, with some of the more elaborate designs potentially reaching upwards of $50 million. This price tag encompasses not only the design and construction of the ride structure, but also the often overlooked logistical challenges: shipping massive steel components, operating heavy machinery on private land, and managing a large construction crew for months, if not years, all contribute to the immense expense. Beyond the initial build, there are ongoing operational costs that rival those of a small commercial park. Regular maintenance checks, safety inspections, power consumption for massive motors and lift hills, and the salaries of highly specialized technicians required to operate and maintain the ride. This isn't a set-it-and-forget-it installation. It's a living, breathing mechanical beast that requires constant attention and significant resources to keep running safely. One of the most significant hurdles for a personal roller coaster, beyond the financial outlay, is navigating zoning laws and regulatory approvals. Amusement rides are subject to stringent safety regulations, and building one on private residential property can trigger a complex web of permits, environmental impact assessments, and public safety concerns. Neighbors might have objections to the noise, the visual impact, or the sheer scale of such a structure in a residential area. Overcoming these legal and community challenges often requires extensive legal counsel, public relations efforts, and sometimes even legislative changes, adding further layers of cost and complexity to the project. The ultimate purpose of such a monumental investment is surprisingly simple: a few minutes of unparalleled thrills for the owner and their guests. It's a statement about personal freedom, a tangible manifestation of a desire to have the ultimate adrenaline rush on demand without the inconvenience of public interaction. It's an indulgence in pure, unadulterated fun, a private escape into a world of gravity-defying G-forces and exhilarating speeds, all within the confines of one's own domain. For the ultra-rich who have likely experienced every conceivable luxury, the personal roller coaster represents the next frontier of bespoke entertainment. It transcends mere ownership of material goods. It's about acquiring a unique experience, a sensation that few others can ever replicate. It speaks to a deep-seated desire for extreme personalization, transforming a multi-billion-dollar estate into a private playground that offers boundless adventure. This bizarre expenditure highlights a fascinating aspect of extreme wealth. When money is no object, even the most elaborate and public forms of entertainment can be privatized, proving that for those with truly limitless resources, the pursuit of pleasure knows no bounds, and the ultimate luxury sometimes means having a theme park ride just outside your back door. From personal roller coasters that offer private thrills, we now delve into an expenditure that is perhaps the most meta and arguably the most narcissistic on our list: the collection of one's own celebrity memorabilia. Imagine having achieved such immense fame and wealth that your own past becomes a commodity, and then using your vast resources to buy back pieces of your own history, often at highly inflated prices. We're talking about celebrities or individuals who have risen to extreme prominence, requiring their childhood belongings, awards, personal letters, stage costumes, or even mundane items like old school assignments, all at public auctions where the competition is often fierce and the prices skyrocket. This isn't just about nostalgia, it's about investing in the cult of one's own personality, controlling one's narrative, and perhaps engaging in a very public act of self-love. The phenomenon is quite prevalent, particularly among music icons, movie stars, and sports legends who have reached a certain pinnacle of their careers. They watch as items from their formative years or peak professional periods appear on the auction block, often fetching astronomical sums from eager fans and collectors. For some, the impulse to buy these items back is genuinely emotional, a desire to reclaim a piece of their personal past, to hold onto a tangible link to a different time before fame consumed their lives. A childhood diary, a first guitar, a script from a breakout role, these items carry immense sentimental value. However, the transaction itself, conducted in the public eye, transforms this personal act into a very public statement. When a celebrity buys back their own high school yearbook for $50,000 or a used concert costume for $250,000, it sends a clear message about their perceived value and their willingness to assert control over their own narrative. It's an act of self-affirmation, a declaration that their history, their image, and even their discarded possessions are immensely valuable. The financial outlay for such self-referential collecting can be staggering. Auction houses thrive on the mystique and market demand for celebrity items, and prices often reach far beyond what might be considered reasonable for the item itself. The value is intrinsically linked to the name attached to it. A simple doodle by a superstar child can fetch tens of thousands, while a dress worn on stage for a single performance might command hundreds of thousands or even millions. The celebrity, by participating in these auctions and driving up prices, inadvertently or perhaps intentionally inflates the market for their own brand. They become both the product and the ultimate consumer, creating a closed loop of self-generated value. This isn't just about buying back, it's about actively participating in the commodification of their own lives and then proving their financial capacity to own it all. Beyond sentimentality and market manipulation, there's an element of narrative control at play. By acquiring these items, celebrities prevent them from falling into the hands of others, particularly those who might exploit them for less flattering purposes. A private collector might display them in a way that doesn't align with the celebrity's desired public image, or worse, a less scrupulous buyer might use them to peddle unverified stories or unauthorized merchandise. By purchasing these items, the celebrity effectively curates their own historical archive, ensuring that their legacy is preserved and presented exactly as they intend. This acts as a protective measure, guarding their personal brand against potential misinterpretations or unwanted revelations. Moreover, this unconventional spending highlights a fascinating aspect of extreme wealth and fame. When you become a brand yourself, every aspect of your existence, even your discarded possessions, acquires a monetary value. The act of buying back a piece of your past becomes an investment in your future, a reinforcement of your status, and a testament to your enduring power and influence. It's a bizarre form of self-patronage, where the artist becomes their own most ardent collector, proving that for those who have achieved global recognition and immense financial success, even their own garbage can be transformed into gold, and their own history into a privately owned, highly valuable commodity. It is the ultimate expression of, "I am so famous and so rich that I can buy my own life back." From celebrities buying back their own legacies, our next dive into the peculiar spending habits of the ultra-rich brings us to a realm of play, reimagined with an astronomical price tag. Prepare to be amazed by the ultimate symbol of opulent leisure, a $75,000 solid gold Monopoly set. This isn't just a collector's edition or a special anniversary release. It's a meticulously crafted, fully playable, yet utterly impractical version of the classic board game, where every component, from the houses and hotels to the money and even the dice, is forged from precious metals and adorned with dazzling jewels. It's a testament to the belief that for those with boundless wealth, even a family game night can become an excuse for a breathtaking display of luxury and an almost comical degree of extravagance. Imagine setting up a game that, before you even roll the dice, costs more than many people's annual salaries. The board itself is typically made of luxurious wood, perhaps inlaid with gold and silver, with the property spaces meticulously engraved and filled with precious gemstones to denote their value. But the true artistry and the bulk of the cost lies in the game pieces. Forget about humble plastic houses and red hotels. In this version, every tiny house is cast from solid 18-karat gold, and each hotel gleams with the weight and luster of 22-karat gold. The iconic player tokens, the thimble, the top hat, the race car, are miniature sculptures crafted from gold and often embedded with diamonds. Even the dice are bespoke, made of gold or platinum, with their pips represented by tiny, perfectly cut diamonds. And the money, while not actual currency, it's often represented by meticulously designed miniature banknotes printed on silk paper, perhaps with gold leaf accents, or even credit card-sized pieces made of solid gold, making the act of passing go or collecting $200 an entirely different experience. The creation of such a lavish game set involves the expertise of master jewelers, goldsmiths, and precision engineers. Every piece must be perfectly weighted and balanced to ensure the game remains functional despite its extraordinary materials. The integration of tiny diamonds into the dice, the miniature gold houses, and the player tokens requires painstaking craftsmanship and an obsessive attention to detail, transforming what was once a mass-produced toy into a unique work of art. The $75,000 price tag reflects not only the intrinsic value of the gold and jewels, but also the countless hours of specialized labor, the bespoke design, and the rarity of such a custom-commissioned piece. It's not something you'd find in a toy store. It's a one-of-a-kind creation for a client who desires the ultimate in personalized luxury. The paradox of this solid gold Monopoly set lies in its profound impracticality. While technically playable, the sheer value and delicacy of its components mean it's almost certainly never used for its intended purpose. Who would risk scratching a $75,000 game board or losing a gold and diamond-encrusted top hat under the sofa? The stress of accidental damage or loss would far outweigh the pleasure of playing the game. Instead, it functions primarily as a display piece, an ultimate conversation starter, and a tangible embodiment of extreme wealth. It's a decorative object, a piece of art that screams, "I have so much money, I can turn a children's board game into a priceless artifact." This kind of purchase transcends mere entertainment. It enters the realm of symbolic consumption, where the object's true purpose is to signify the owner's financial dominion. For the ultra-rich who have everything that money can buy, the pursuit of such unique, over-the-top items is often driven by a desire for novelty and exclusivity. A $75,000 solid gold Monopoly set is not about winning the game. It's about winning the game of life by demonstrating an unrivaled capacity for indulgence. It showcases a playful, yet undeniably serious approach to luxury, proving that for those with limitless resources, even the most mundane activities can be elevated to an extravagant art form, turning a simple board game into a dazzling, golden monument to their wealth. While a solid gold Monopoly set might make for an amusing display of wealth, our next astonishing expenditure shifts from tangible objects to an almost ethereal experience, one that promises a unique perspective on our planet from the peaceful, silent expanse of near space. We're talking about a private, high-altitude balloon ride to the edge of space, an endeavor that carves out a distinct niche for itself, separate from the rocket-powered thrill of a Virgin Galactic flight. This isn't about a fleeting, G-force-laden blast-off. It's about a serene, multi-hour journey into the stratosphere, offering an unparalleled view of Earth's curvature, the inky blackness of space, and the thin blue line of our atmosphere, all from the quiet comfort of a luxury capsule. This multi-million-dollar experience, often costing upwards of $1 million to $2 million per seat depending on the provider and customization, is a testament to the desire for exclusivity and a profound connection with the cosmos without the violent acceleration of a rocket. Unlike the suborbital flights that briefly touch the void, these balloon excursions ascend gently, typically over several hours, to altitudes nearing 100,000 feet, well above 99% of Earth's atmosphere. The capsule, often designed for solo travel or a very small group of 2 or 3, is a marvel of engineering, a pressurized, climate-controlled sphere with massive panoramic windows that offer uninterrupted, breathtaking views. Inside, passengers might find plush seating, gourmet meals, and even Wi-Fi to share their awe-inspiring journey in real time. The journey culminates in several hours spent at apogee, allowing ample time for quiet contemplation, photography, and simply soaking in the mesmerizing panorama of our home planet suspended in the vastness. The descent is equally gradual, a soft re-entry into the denser atmosphere before a gentle landing, often in a remote, pre-designated location. The allure of such a journey lies precisely in its tranquility and extended duration. For the ultra-rich, who have likely experienced every conceivable luxury and thrill on Earth, the high-altitude balloon offers a different kind of adventure, one of profound solitude and introspection. It's an escape not just from gravity, but from the noise and demands of everyday life, a chance to witness the Earth as a fragile, vibrant sphere from an entirely new perspective. This experience often evokes what astronauts call the overview effect, a cognitive shift in awareness reported by some space travelers, characterized by a feeling of awe for the planet, an understanding of the unity of life, and a renewed sense of responsibility for taking care of the environment. While the price tag is astronomical for those who experience it, the profound emotional and philosophical impact is considered priceless, a rare opportunity to gain a truly global perspective that few humans will ever attain. The logistics involved in orchestrating such a delicate journey are incredibly complex and contribute significantly to its multi-million-dollar cost. It requires a massive, specialized balloon, often the size of a football stadium when fully inflated, meticulous weather forecasting, a dedicated ground crew tracking the flight path, and strict air traffic control coordination. Safety is paramount, with redundant systems, comprehensive life support, and highly trained personnel overseeing every aspect of the mission. For the individual commissioning this private journey, it represents the ultimate luxury of tailored experience, a silent, serene ascent into the heavens, a personal communion with the cosmos, and a gentle return to Earth, all executed with impeccable precision and without the jarring forces of rocket propulsion. It is an investment in an unparalleled perspective, a serene escape to the very edge of the world, proving that for those with limitless resources, the most profound experiences often involve reaching new heights, both literally and metaphorically. From the serene ascent to the edge of space, we now transition to one of the most poignant and perhaps most human of all extravagant expenditures, the commissioning of a custom, multi-million-dollar genetic engineering service to create a designer baby with specific traits. This isn't about medical necessity or preventing a catastrophic disease. It's about the ultimate customization, selecting for attributes like intelligence, athletic prowess, specific physical characteristics, or even artistic talent using advanced reproductive technologies. This raises profound ethical questions and highlights a future where wealth could literally shape the very building blocks of human life, transforming offspring from a natural miracle into a highly curated, ultra-luxury product. The concept, while still largely theoretical and ethically contentious on a widespread scale, is already being explored in hushed tones within ultra-wealthy circles. While current technologies like pre-implantation genetic diagnosis (PGD) are primarily used to screen embryos for serious inherited diseases, The rapid advancements in gene editing tools like CRISPR and the increasing sophistication of genetic profiling open the door to a far more complex scenario. The multi-million-dollar price tag for such a service would encompass not only the highly specialized medical procedures, in vitro fertilization, comprehensive genetic sequencing, and potentially gene editing interventions, but also the extensive research and development required to make such precise genetic modifications safe and reliable. It would involve a team of world-renowned geneticists, embryologists, and bioethicists, all working in the utmost secrecy, pushing the boundaries of what is scientifically and ethically permissible. The cost would also factor in the extreme exclusivity of the service, available only to those with virtually limitless resources and a willingness to operate in a morally ambiguous landscape. The motivation behind such an expenditure is profoundly complex. For some, it stems from a desire to give their child every conceivable advantage in life, a literal head start on the genetic lottery. In an increasingly competitive world where even the slightest edge can make a difference, the idea of engineering success from conception can be incredibly appealing to those accustomed to optimizing every aspect of their lives. For others, it might be about fulfilling long-held personal desires, like having a child with a particular talent that eluded them, or ensuring a specific physical trait that they value. It's the ultimate form of parental aspiration taken to its most extreme and controversial conclusion. The pursuit of perfection, or at least optimized potential, becomes paramount, with wealth providing the means to potentially bypass natural selection itself. However, the ethical implications of designer babies are immense and hotly debated. Critics argue that such practices could lead to a new form of eugenics, exacerbating existing social inequalities and creating a genetic divide between the ultra-rich and the rest of humanity. It raises questions about genetic diversity, the potential for unforeseen long-term health consequences, and the very definition of what it means to be human. Moreover, the psychological impact on a child, born with the immense pressure of living up to genetically engineered expectations, could be profound. While the science is not yet fully there for widespread, reliable trait selection on demand, the willingness of the ultra-rich to fund and pursue such services indicates a future where wealth could literally rewrite the human code, turning the creation of life into a bespoke luxury. This bizarre expenditure, more than any other, forces us to confront the profound ethical dilemmas that arise when limitless financial power intersects with the cutting edge of scientific possibility, proving that for those with ultimate resources, even the very essence of future generations can become a commodity to be designed and purchased. From attempting to custom design future generations, our exploration into the bizarre expenditures of the ultra-rich culminates in an act of profound and ultimately speculative self-preservation, the payment of a large, often six-figure sum, for a full body or brain cryogenic freezing arrangement for themselves and, in many cases, their beloved pets. Imagine having such immense wealth that even death isn't seen as an absolute end, but merely a temporary pause, an inconvenience that can be overcome with enough money and cutting-edge technology. This isn't about traditional burials or cremation. It's about making the ultimate long-term, highly speculative purchase, a gamble on the scientific breakthroughs of a distant future that might allow for revival and a second chance at life, or perhaps an entirely new existence. The concept of cryonics involves freezing a body or brain at extremely low temperatures, typically in liquid nitrogen, immediately after legal death, with the hope that future medical technology will be able to repair cellular damage from both the original cause of death and the freezing process itself, ultimately reviving the individual. For the ultra-rich, this appeals to a fundamental human desire for immortality, but with a technologically advanced twist. The cost for such an arrangement is substantial, often starting at around $200,000 for whole body preservation and ranging up to $500,000 or more for more comprehensive services, which might include specific research funding or dedicated future care. Brain preservation, which is less expensive, still typically costs upwards of $80,000. This initial sum covers the rapid cooling procedures immediately post-mortem, the long-term storage in specialized cryogenic dewars, and the ongoing maintenance of the facility and its personnel. It's a payment for a promise, a contract with the future, where the return on investment is nothing less than life itself. For many of the ultra-rich who are accustomed to controlling every aspect of their lives and mitigating every risk, cryonics offers a similar, albeit far more extreme, form of life assurance. They've optimized their health, their finances, and their environments. Cryonics is simply the logical next step in their pursuit of ultimate control, extending their reach beyond the conventional boundaries of human existence. The decision to include beloved pets in these arrangements further underscores the depth of their financial and emotional investment. For a pampered poodle or a cherished cat, the cost of full-body cryopreservation typically ranges from $10,000 to $50,000, reflecting a belief that the bond with their animal companions transcends even death, and that technological advancements will one day reunite them. This kind of arrangement speaks volumes about the value placed on these animal family members, often seen as extensions of the owner's own desire for enduring companionship and continuity. However, the scientific and ethical debate surrounding cryonics is intense. Mainstream science widely considers current cryopreservation techniques irreversible, and there is no proven method for reviving a complex organism like a human or pet after freezing. The process itself causes significant cellular damage, including ice crystal formation, which present immense challenges for future revival. Critics often dismiss it as pseudoscience or a pipe dream, arguing that those investing in it are essentially paying for a highly elaborate burial with a futuristic marketing spin. Yet, for the wealthy individuals who commit to it, it represents a calculated gamble, an investment in a highly uncertain future, driven by a deep-seated optimism about the relentless march of technological progress. They reason that while the odds might be slim today, they are non-zero, and the potential payoff, eternal life or a second chance, is infinite. The very act of making a cryopreservation arrangement is a profound statement about one's worldview and financial capacity. It signifies a refusal to accept the finality of death, a willingness to bet vast sums on unproven science, and an ultimate embrace of the long shot. For the ultra-rich, it's not just about what they can buy today, but what they can potentially buy in 100 or 200 years' time. It's the ultimate bespoke luxury, a tailored bridge to an uncertain tomorrow, proving that for those with truly limitless resources, even the most fundamental human constraint, mortality, can become another problem to be solved with enough money and a leap of faith. This bizarre expenditure perhaps best encapsulates the unique desires and boundless aspirations that emerge when wealth truly knows no limits, pushing the boundaries of what is possible, what is believed, and what is purchased. So as we wrap up our fascinating and often bewildering journey through the 29 weirdest things rich Americans have actually spent their money on, it's clear that the landscape of luxury is far more diverse and imaginative than most of us could ever conceive. We've plunged into the depths of the ocean in private submarines, ascended to the serene edge of space in high-altitude balloons, and even explored the possibility of designing future generations through genetic engineering. We've seen money spent on the most frivolous of items, like $40,000 featherbeds for parrots and solid gold yo-yos, yet we've also witnessed investments in deeply personal pursuits, from preserving cherished memories in private arcades to literally buying back one's own legacy through celebrity memorabilia. The sheer range of these expenditures, spanning from the truly whimsical to the profoundly speculative, paints a vivid picture of what happens when financial limits simply cease to exist. What do these purchases tell us about extreme wealth and the human condition? For one thing, they highlight an undeniable craving for the unique and the exclusive. When traditional luxuries like mansions, cars, and private jets become commonplace among one's peers, the ultra-rich seek out acquisitions that are bespoke, unprecedented, and often entirely impractical, simply because they offer a new frontier of indulgence. It's not just about owning something, it's about owning something that no one else has, something that defies conventional logic and screams, "I can afford anything." This pursuit of the singular often leads to truly bizarre creations, pushing the boundaries of what can be bought and sold. Beyond mere exclusivity, there's a powerful narrative of control at play. Whether it's attempting to command the weather over a private estate, fortifying a personal apocalypse bunker in a decommissioned missile silo, or building a private fire department to protect a single property, many of these expenditures reveal a profound desire to mitigate risk, eliminate uncertainty, and exert ultimate dominion over one's environment and destiny. For those accustomed to shaping their own realities in the business world, this drive for control naturally extends to every facet of their personal lives, no matter how outlandish the means. It's a testament to the belief that with enough money, any problem can be solved, any threat neutralized, and any desire, no matter how grand, can be materialized. And then there's the poignant aspect of legacy and personal fulfillment. While some purchases are purely for pleasure, others delve into deeper human aspirations. The acquisition of an entire ghost town, the commissioning of an Oval Office replica, or the investment in cryopreservation all speak to a desire to shape one's own narrative, to leave a mark, to extend one's influence beyond the conventional, or to simply defy the ultimate biological constraint. For some, wealth offers the ultimate freedom to pursue passions and experiences that transcend the everyday, whether that's exploring the deep sea, reliving childhood joys, or attempting to bend the very fabric of life and death. These purchases are not just transactions, they are reflections of deep-seated desires, ambitions, and sometimes profound anxieties magnified by limitless financial power. Ultimately, this glimpse into the world of luxury beyond logic reminds us that money, when abundant, doesn't just buy things. It buys possibilities, experiences, and often an entirely different reality. It allows individuals to transform their wildest impulses into tangible assets, creating a world where the line between extravagant and utterly bizarre frequently blurs. We hope this journey has been as enlightening and entertaining for you as it has been for us. What's the weirdest luxury item you've ever heard of? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below, because we'd love to hear your take on the wild world of extreme wealth.